I'm Karyn, creator of Play and Take and Make and Take Family Math Night Kits. And in this video, I'm going to share with you ways to develop subitizing in your students. Now, subitizing is being able to quickly recognize the number of objects in a set without having to count each one of those objects. So for example, how many frog counters do I have in my hand? Now you were able to quickly determine that I have 3 frog counters in my hands, and you didn't need to go 1, 2, and 3 to arrive at that. So that's what subitizing is. And subitizing is important, super important, because it helps develop number sense, which is so critical for success in mathematics. Okay, so I'm going to start. I do these activities with kindergarten, first, and second graders. I'm going to start down at the kindergarten level with something that I call dot cards. Now I'm going to flash a dot card to you, and your job, or the kindergarten's job, is to figure out how many dots there are all together, and each one of the students has their individual whiteboard. So they're going to record the total number of dots on their whiteboard. And as a little extra support, if they need it, they have a counting strip. Now these come from our Nifty Numbers Family Math Night Kit, but they've got this counting strip on there in case they need this support. And then of course, it's got the way to write those numerals on there if they need that support as well. So in the beginning, when I flash these dot cards, I actually flash them for a few seconds, and I give everybody an opportunity to make sure that they know how many are there, and then they write their number on the whiteboard. As we continue to do this and they get more familiar and comfortable with it and good at it, I go a little bit faster. Okay, so obviously that was the number 3. You want to be sure that, oh, by the way, that works on cardinality. So cardinality is being able to know that that last number that you said, 1, 2, 3, represents the entire group. But you also want to be able to show different configurations of the same number. Okay, now they're working on conservation of number, and also this is going to help them when they get to different configurations like this. You can see I've obviously grouped that there for them, but they're going to be able to subitize that 4 and that 2, break those numbers apart, and learn that all numbers are made up of smaller numbers, right? And so this 4 and the 2, the total 4 plus 2 would be 6, and you can have a number line there for them should they need that support. But again, you want to have different configurations for 6, so you might have 5 on one side and 1 on the other side, and 3 and 3, and so forth. And you don't always need to use, I did the colors here to kind of get them to help subitize those, but you know, you can also do it like that as well in one color. I also play a lot of games with students, and these are patterns, dot patterns, are going to be very familiar to you and them, hopefully. So you can obviously see that there's 4 there, and these represent playing with the die. Okay, and then here's another one, a different configuration of 3 again. Okay, now here's something else that you can do as well. You can flash the cards, but you can tell the students that you need to add 1 to the total number of dots that you see. So in this case, 4, and then mentally they're adding 1, or they're using their number line, and then the total 4 plus 1 would be 5. Or you could subtract 1 as well. Okay. Another great tool is the 10 frame. So here, okay, you're flashing that again, and then of course they're subitizing that 3, and pretty soon they're going to learn that that top row is made up of 5. So they're going to subitize that 5, and I love subitizing for counting on, because what they're going to do now is they're going to hold that 5 mentally in their head, and they're going to count on 6, 7, 8, and 9. And now some kids will see it 10, the whole thing filled in as 10 minus that 1, okay, and they'll come up with 9 that way. And then something else that you might want to do as well with your older kids is get into some of those bigger numbers. So they're subitizing the 10 here, and then they're adding on that 6 down there. Okay, so 10 plus 6 is 16. Okay, so 10 frames is really good. Another good tool for practice in that. Then I get to Domino. So now we're going to use subitizing and help us practice beginning addition and subtraction skills. Now you can use, these are my overhead dominoes. You can use the overhead and flash these up on the screen, or you can use the dock camera and use the real dominoes like this. But basically, they've had enough practice now. They've subitized that 4 and they're adding on that 1, or they've subitized the 3 and the 3, and now they're doing 3 plus 3. In their head is 6. A great practice for those addition facts. You can also have them practice their subtraction facts. So now they're going to take the difference between both sides of the domino. So they're going to take the smaller number of pips from the larger number of pips. So 4 minus 1 is 3, and then that's what they're going to write down on their whiteboard. Then you can get into the double 9 dominoes, and again, kind of like back here where they subitize that pattern very quickly, and they know that that's a 4. They're going to very quickly learn that this is an 8, okay, that pattern there, and this pattern here represents 7, and then if it's all filled in, of course, it's 9, and then again they'll be adding that 7 plus 5 in their head and using the number line if they need to get to 12. Now what I really like to do is involve the kids. In creating problems for others to solve. So down in kindergarten, I may have 2 little kids working together, and they're going to come up with, this is just felt, and then these are my little felt pips. So I may give them up to 6 pips and say, use some or all or however many you want of these, and come up with a little problem for your classmates to solve. So they work on that and they come over and they're holding it, and then when their classmates are looking, they turn it, and then instead of writing this on the whiteboard, because I don't want to, there might be some students that are kind of struggling with this a little bit, and I don't want them to struggle even more in front of their peers. So what I do now is I just have the little team that's up here sharing the card, as I have the students raise their hands if they want to say how many they think are there. And now they're looking at their classmates, or the teachers are the authority now, and it's really a great way to build math confidence. And then when we get into the dominoes, I do the same thing. I might pull a pair of students aside and say, hey, I want you to come up with a domino for the number 8. And then they get to figure out how they want to do that. And then they come up and then they share their domino for 8. It's great practice for them as well. I actually created this one here out of felt, and you can see on the back here that I've got little hooks there because I use this for my pocket chart. But to make it super easy, you can just use magnets. Okay. And if you think that the magnets are going to get in the way because of the different colors, you can just use those plain dot magnets, and that's super easy for kids to manipulate on that. So you can see these really, really simple activities are very powerful in developing that number sense that is so critical for success in math. So thanks for watching.